Usually we imagine port congestion as this um, slow, steady buildup of cargo boxes, like a bathtub slowly overfilling because the faucet is on just a little too high.
Yeah.
But the reality on the water right now is much more volatile.
Yeah, absolutely.
So welcome to this deep dive. Our mission today is to unpack the World Bank's Container Port Performance Index 2025 report. And we are specifically focusing on a hidden phenomenon that is currently breaking global supply chains.
Right, because we really do tend to think of supply chain growth as this smooth, predictable curve. But, the data shows us that today's disruptions are entirely different. I mean, they are sudden, chaotic, and just incredibly intense.
Okay, let's unpack this. So if it's not a smooth curve, what is actually causing these sudden spikes? The report points to something they call burst congestion, right?
Yeah, exactly. It really comes down to a concept the report calls temporal clustering.
Temporal cluster.
Right, so instead of vessels arriving evenly spread out over a week, you get this period of apparent stability that is completely shattered. Basically, multiple off-schedule vessels converge on a port in a very narrow window of time.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's less like a steady stream of cars entering a highway and more like, I don't know, 100 tour buses arriving at a small diner at the exact same minute.
That is a perfect way to look at it.
Because, you have enough coffee and pancakes for a normal morning, but you are completely wiped out if 5,000 people walk in at once. So what actually triggers these buses to arrive all at once?
Well, what's fascinating here is that the triggers are often a perfect storm of external shocks. We're talking about things like severe weather events or labor disruptions or, geopolitical rerouting.
Right. The report mentions the 2026 Strait of Hormuz disruption as a prime example of that.
Exactly. When shipping flows there were reduced to a trickle, carriers had to resequence their entire networks to bypass the danger zones.
Which I guess means all those diverted ships end up taking the exact same alternative safe routes.
Yes, they do. And the data actually takes that a step further, leading to what the report calls clumping.
Clumping.
Yeah, clumping. So all these diverted vessels arrive simultaneously at alternate relief nodes, and they just completely overwhelm them. And human behavior actually makes this so much worse.
Wait, really? How so?
Well, when widespread disruptions hit, shippers panic. They pull their cargo forward to protect their own service levels.
Oh, I see. Which creates these massive short-term peaks. And that severely worsens yard density at the ports, right? Meaning there is literally no physical space left to stack the cargo boxes.
Exactly. They just run out of room.
But wait, I have to push back here. If we know human behavior and these geopolitical shocks are going to create these bursts, why don't ports just build bigger capacity buffers?
That is a totally fair question.
Like if the tour buses are coming, just build a bigger diner, buy more physical cranes, right?
Well, this raises an important point about how we actually define capacity. You see, you simply can't plan for infinite surge capacity.
Right, because of the cost.
Exactly. Building a massive physical buffer, buying acres of land and $50 million cranes just to sit idle waiting for an unpredictable burst, it's economically impossible.
So what do they do instead?
Instead, the top performing ports focus on minimizing what the report calls time absorption.
Okay, time absorption. Sticking with our diner analogy, I'm guessing that's not the time it takes to serve the tour buses.
No, it's not.
It's the time it takes the kitchen to, clean all the dishes, wipe down the prep stations, and restock the fridge after those passengers finally leave, before they can even think about serving the next regular customer.
Spot on. It's the operational friction and the lag that prevents a port from recovering its baseline cadence after a shock.
Got it.
If a port has high time absorption, it takes forever to clean the dishes. So a short burst turns into a massive network-wide cascading delay. To cure this, ports aren't pouring more concrete.
Right, they're using software. The report mentions digital solutions to reduce that friction.
Yes, exactly.
So how do digital tools actually fix physical friction? I mean, the report mentions things like predictive berthing and dynamic yard allocation, but what does that actually look like on the ground?
Well, think of predictive berthing like air traffic control for ships.
Okay.
Instead of vessels just showing up and, dropping anchor, the software uses real-time data to sequence arrivals. It matches ships to available docks the minute they open up.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right, and then you have dynamic yard allocation, which constantly reorganizes the physical storage zones on the fly based on what's actually coming in. And they power all this by sharing integrated terminal operating and port community system data.
So instead of a crane operator just waiting around for a paper manifest, the entire port community, like truckers, rail operators, crane drivers, they are all looking at the exact same live data feed.
Precisely. By anticipating the burst rather than just reacting to it, they can have the cranes in position and the trucks lined up before the ship even ties up to the dock.
Wow.
Yeah, efficiency today is about information flow just as much as cargo flow.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? The next time your online order is delayed, it might not be because a ship was simply too slow.
Yeah, it really might not be.
It could actually be because a port, thousands of miles away, lacked the predictive data to handle a sudden burst of arrivals.
Exactly right.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. But before we go, I want you to think about this. The report makes it abundantly clear that interconnected digital networks are the only thing keeping these physical supply chains from collapsing under the weight of a burst.
They really are the backbone now.
Right. But if global trade now relies entirely on that data to survive the arrival of those 100 tour buses, what happens to the diner if those digital systems themselves face a sudden, synchronized disruption?